that hour of power going, that 15 minutes to thrive, if you're familiar with that, to train your body and mind to be strong again. Number 3, make sure you put yourself in that position where you find a role model that's going to inspire you and show you that way. Maybe it's a contrasting role model. You think your life's so tough? Find somebody with tougher who's really turned it around. Or maybe it's just somebody who's really succeeded. You can now see there is a way. There's a way through. There's a way to make this happen, even in the toughest times. There's always a way. 4, make sure you get yourself into action. Get a plan, take massive action. And then number 5, most importantly of all of them, feed your spirit. Feed and strengthen your spirit. And there's only one way to do that. It's to find what you're grateful for and to take time, whether it be prayer for you or just taking a moment to think about what it is that's so lucky in your life. There's a rejuvenation in our spirit when we stop taking things for granted. And when most importantly, what feeds your spirit is to give, to find a way to do something for someone else who's worse off than you are. Because what is this all about? It's about strength, and it's about perspective, it's about action, it's about emotion, and it's about heart. And so many people, miss the opportunity to feel like their life makes a difference. I'm a big believer that motive does matter. That why you do something, people can feel. That people may be skeptical, they may have their judgments or their fears because they've been through so much, but in my experience, ultimately, why you're doing something people feel. And if you're doing this because some part of you knows that you're here in life not just to get, but to give, then there's a spark that happens in other people because they feel the genuineness of that, and there's a spark that happens in you because it reminds you what you're made for. And I'm telling you this now, and I shared this with you because I want to give you some tools, but also because I want to invite you to participate in something. Thanksgiving is coming, and it's supposed to be a time of giving thanks, right? But unfortunately, for a lot of people, what we're finding is it's just about eating turkey or, eating so much and going and watching the ball game and forgetting what the spirit of the holiday is really about. Many of you who know me probably know the story of what's happened in my life and why I'm sharing this with you right now. Because when I was 11 years old, my family, a young brother and sister, I'm the oldest, and my father and my mother, we were in a position where my father had lost his job and we had no money and no food. And we wouldn't have starved, but we certainly weren't going to have a Thanksgiving dinner, that's for sure. And it was depressing, and my father was saying things to my mother, and mother was saying things to my father that, you never forget and you can never take back. And we were in this psychological, emotional hole, and it felt like nothing could get better. And what changed my life was a simple act of kindness. Somebody who, to this day, I'm emotionally even thinking about it still. That's why I want to talk to you today. To this day, I don't know who it was. But they decided, or knew our family, I guess, and they sent a delivery guy to knock on the door. And, my parents were fighting, so I answered the door. And there was this tall man standing with this big box of food, everything you could imagine for this holiday. And beside him on the ground was this black pan with an uncooked turkey in it. And he said, "Is your father here?" And I said, "Just one moment." And I quickly went over and grabbed my dad and didn't tell him who it was at the door. Just said, you got to answer it, and opened the door. And unfortunately, my father didn't take in the gift. He was angry. He said, "We don't accept charity." He was very intense about it. And it was a seminal experience in my life because I wanted to celebrate. And ultimately, it became a celebration for the rest of my